All right, it's a couple minutes after 2, so let's get started. Good afternoon and good morning to those of you joining in on the West Coast. My name is Rebecca Kaelin, and I'm the Marketing Manager at Logicbroker. I'll be your presenter for the duration of the webinar today. I would like to start off by thanking everyone for their attendance. I know your time is valuable, and I appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule to join me today. So today I'd like to take the time to discuss how implementing automation for your Nexternal platform with QuickBooks will increase the efficiency of your business. Let's take a look at today's agenda. So today's webinar will begin with some housekeeping items to help you get the most out of the presentation. After that, I'll go into an overview of Logicbroker, covering who we are and what we do. Then I'll set the stage for QuickBooks and Nexternal, automation through integration, by introducing our QuickBooks Connector for Nexternal. I'll go over the connector benefits before running a quick demo so that you can see the automation in action. Today's webinar will conclude with a Q&A session. I'll be bringing in one of our Logicbroker sales engineers, who is an expert on our connector, to help answer as many questions as we can with the time remaining. So let's get started on those housekeeping items. As a note, today's presentation, including our Q&A session, should last approximately 30 minutes. We encourage you to ask questions throughout the webinar, which will be answered at the end. To ask a question, simply type it into the Q&A box in your GoToWebinar panel. As a follow-up to the webinar, a blog post will be posted sometime next week. We will incorporate answers to the questions answered and provide a recap of the presentation. And if you haven't already done so, please feel free to follow us on Twitter at Logicbroker. And you can also use the hashtag NexternalLVWebinar to let everyone know you attended today's webinar. And finally, the recording and slides from today's webinar will be emailed to you within a few days. All right, let's get started. But first, surprise, please submit questions throughout the webinar for a chance to win a $5 Starbucks gift card. Founded in 1998, Logicbroker began as a consulting company focused on the e-commerce ecosystem. Since 2010, Logicbroker Inc. has delivered Logicbroker, the most complete e-commerce platform available. Logicbroker is a cloud-based integration hub that connects the fragmented systems your business relies on and automates the exchange of everything from inventory and purchase orders to tracking information and invoices. We offer our customers a scalable solution to solve e-commerce problems, including automating the dropship process, offering a fully integrated backend, and providing end-to-end EDI. At Logicbroker, our vision is to ensure that your investment with us will always yield a positive return. Our experienced, energetic, and dynamic team is passionate about that vision and passionate about supporting your goals. We believe this focus is why successful suppliers and retailers rely on our sophisticated tools to enable frictionless commerce for their business. We are proud to be a strategic partner with Nexternal, and we are also a member of the Intuit Partner Platform. Think about this. If you're spending 1 or more hours manually processing orders, you're losing valuable time during your day that could be used to grow other parts of your business. Just take a look at this stat. There are 250 days in a typical work year, and if you're spending at least 1 hour a day processing orders, that equates to 250 hours a year. And when you take into account that the average workday is 8 hours, all that work equals around 31 workdays a year. Imagine what you could do to help your business if you had that time back. Time is money. And if your time is being allocated to manually processing orders, other areas of your business could be neglected. For example, if a member of your sales team has been manually fulfilling orders, that is an hour each day that they are not selling. In a year, that will equate to a month of lost sales. Connecting QuickBooks and Nexternal will free up your team so they can focus on their true tasks, and your business will run more efficiently. Logicbroker's QuickBooks Connector seamlessly integrates Nexternal with QuickBooks, effectively solving the problem mentioned in the previous slide. Because Logicbroker leverages QuickBooks API, with one click, customers can connect to QuickBooks from Logicbroker, sign in with their Intuit account, and instantly have QuickBooks data available to them. We understand that no two businesses are alike and will require slightly different solutions. As a result, our connector can be configured to meet your specific business needs. You can choose to have orders flow directly into QuickBooks or into the Logicbroker portal where they would need to be acknowledged. You can configure the sync time between QuickBooks and Nexternal to best fit your specific needs. As I mentioned earlier, Logicbroker is part of the Intuit Partner Platform, which means that even if you upgrade your QuickBooks platform, your connection with Logicbroker and Nexternal will remain uninterrupted. Logicbroker also enables dropship automation, and with the lines being blurred between traditional sales channels and the emerging omni-channel environment, Logicbroker makes omni-channel retailing simple by connecting the systems retail businesses rely on. So by implementing the Logicbroker QuickBooks app connector, you will notice three main benefits. The elimination of manual data entry, you'll perform more efficiently, and you'll have an automated document flow. And to further explain this, we'll jump into generating a sales order or invoice after we go over the three main benefits. Our QuickBooks Connector fully integrates your Nexternal platform with QuickBooks, eliminating the need to manually enter data. This will free up your resources and eliminate the possibility of costly errors made by rekeying mistakes. We've all made typos, but when you're running a business, one seemingly small typo can have a tangible impact. Errors in shipping can be very costly, and through automation, the chances of rekeying errors are eliminated. By implementing our QuickBooks Connector for your Nexternal platform, your e-commerce business will perform more efficiently. Since the need to manually enter data has been removed, your employees are not tied up and they can focus on their true tasks. So your sales team can sell and your IT department can focus on operations. When your team can focus on what is truly important, you can scale your business and remain lean with no added headcount. At Logicbroker, we understand not everyone is a QuickBooks expert, and by implementing our connector, you won't have to be. Our connector helps automate many of the tedious tasks you or your employees were performing within QuickBooks. This automation enables you to manage your business using the basic QuickBooks functions. This little image to demonstrate the automated document flow. You can see one screen has a QuickBooks interface and the other has Nexternal's homepage to represent the Nexternal store that you're currently running. Automated document flow. So Logicbroker's QuickBooks Connector enables an automated document flow between QuickBooks and Nexternal. Logicbroker can pull sales orders, invoices, and paid invoices from Nexternal into QuickBooks, update inventory from QuickBooks to Nexternal, and if you use QuickBooks to fulfill pick, pack, and ship, Logicbroker can pull tracking information from QuickBooks and deposit it to Nexternal. Because of the seamless flow of documents, you can process more orders in less time. As I mentioned earlier, rekeying order data is time-consuming, and when you automate this process, you can receive and fulfill orders at a much faster pace. So before we jump into our demo, here is a visual breakdown on generating a sales order. A customer places an e-commerce order through your Nexternal shopping cart. When the order has been submitted and payment has been verified, Logicbroker grabs that information and deposits it into QuickBooks, where the pick, pack, ship process can take place. Alternately, if you fulfill orders in Nexternal, Logicbroker can bring paid invoices into QuickBooks for your records. With our QuickBooks Connector, the order fulfillment process is quick and seamless. This is just a few instances of our connector with QuickBooks, and as I mentioned earlier, our connector is configurable based on your individual business needs. It's bidirectional, and we can pull information from Nexternal and drop it into QuickBooks, or pull information from QuickBooks and direct it to Nexternal. We'll now jump into a demo to show a standard flow of an order being placed in Nexternal and how that order ultimately makes it into QuickBooks. Bear with me just a moment while I get our demo environment set up. All right, so here we have our demo Nexternal site. So I'm going to be acting as a customer placing an order, but bear with me for a moment as this is a demo site. So to place an order, I'll be clicking New. A few more minutes it loads. All right, so this is our demo Nexternal site. As you can see, we're not quite experts on front-end design, but we are very good at working with the back end. So we'll be placing an order for QuickBooks today. Order smartwatch, and I'll check out. Just like that, we have placed our order. It just takes a few minutes for Logicbroker to verify the correct payment, and then we will fulfill this order in QuickBooks. Now I understand that many of you probably will fulfill your orders within Nexternal and you just use QuickBooks as your system of record. So once you open up QuickBooks and you see the order, that the order is there, you can pretend that that was a paid invoice, and that would be the paid invoice being brought in, and your process would end there. But for those of you who use QuickBooks to pick, pack, ship, as I continue on with this demo, this part will relate a bit more to you guys. All right, so without further ado, let's open up QuickBooks. Again, since this is a demo environment, I will be running the Sync Manager. Just take a few moments for Logicbroker to register. Looks like our order has not been pulled into QuickBooks yet, so bear with me a few more moments and I will run the Sync Manager again in about another minute. Our demo environment, Logicbroker, I believe it takes 3 minutes to change the status of an order. I might have been a bit impatient today. I'm very excited to be doing this webinar for all of you. Run the Sync Manager again. Hopefully it's been about 3 minutes or so. Let's see. Exit that very quickly. All right, I see our sales order. Just wait for the Sync Manager to finish running, and we'll open that up and create an invoice. All right. So here you can see our order. Click on that. I'll create an invoice. Let's do on tracking number. Encourage you guys to ask some questions and perhaps win one of our Starbucks gift cards. All right, now that I've entered my tracking information, I will save and close. And I'm going to run the Sync Manager one more time. And again, that'll notify Logicbroker that this order has been invoiced, and now it'll update that status in External. It's worth noting, for those of you who are using QuickBooks for the pick, pack, and ship process, if you already have an integration with UPS or FedEx, tracking numbers would be carried over there, over from there, and there'd be no need to manually enter a tracking number. This is, again, just a demo environment, so it's something we need to do. But if you do have a connection like that, this process would be completely seamless and with no manual touches. Looks like our Sync Manager hasn't run yet. It's always a bit slower in the afternoon. I think a lot of people are doing their QuickBooksing in the afternoon, so the Sync Manager tends to run a bit slower, which is great. All right. So we'll go back to Nexternal. And we'll refresh. I'll wait about 30 seconds just to give Logicbroker a little bit of time to do its magic. And I'll show you how the tracking information has been brought over. All right. And there you have it. Our special tracking number, Questions for Coffee, has been seamlessly carried over. And that's our demo. As you can see, it's very simple. With the right connection, there's no need for any manual data entry. It's completely seamless, and it will free up your time and your resources. So if you give me just a moment, I'm going to switch back to the PowerPoint screen. Bear with me a moment. Now we'll begin the question and answer portion of the webinar. I'd like to introduce you to George Hudorfer, our Director of Sales and a QuickBooks Connector expert. All right, let's see what questions we have here.
Let's see here. The first one I see is, why wouldn't you ship in Nexternal first? That's a very common practice, and probably 80 to 90% of our Nexternal customers will leverage the order management function in Nexternal. It's a key differentiator for the platform. But there are certain examples where there might be a warehouse management or 3PL that need to be included as part of the integration. So that's what this flow is designed to show, to illustrate the bi-directional communication, sending tracking back up. But yes, we can sync orders as sales orders or invoices and stop there. What happens when you update an order in Nexternal? Will it update in QuickBooks? So the way our connector is based, it's on statuses. So anytime an order status changes in Nexternal, at that point we can take that order information and sync it to QuickBooks through the Sync Manager as frequently as every 5 minutes. Can you set the Sync Manager to run automatically? If so, what are the intervals? So yes, the Sync Manager is configurable to run. You can run it every day. You can run it every 4 hours, 6 hours. But I think I just mentioned it as frequently that you can set it is every 5 minutes. So you can always run it manually, but you can set it to run on autopilot every 5 minutes. Does Logicbroker have the capability to connect with other platforms? For instance, when someone uses Intuit QuickBooks for invoicing and sales orders, does Logicbroker work the other way to pull QuickBooks and dump into another system? We do have connectors to other systems. We're an Intuit preferred partner and can sync to other ERP systems, for example, or order management, or even with EDI with trading partners. We also have a standard XML tool set where through either web service or secure FTP, even if it's a custom system or legacy green screen system, if they can import-export XML, we can do that integration, provided it falls within the standard documents that we exchange. Will this work with the Windows QuickBook that is run on a virtual machine on a Mac? Sync Manager does not work, and Intuit does not support this integration. So with the Mac environment, it depends if it is on a virtual machine or if you have it hosted on one of the approved QuickBooks hosting companies like Right Networks, for example. We'd have to double check with the version of QuickBooks that you support. I'm not actually sure if the Sync Manager works across platform for all versions. Most desktop versions of QuickBooks, so Premier, Pro, or Enterprise, do support the Sync Manager, but we would require the Sync Manager. What is the cost of the program? So it's $500 one-time setup and $100 a month. When you issue a partial refund, does it update the invoice in QuickBooks? It does not. The connector does not update the invoice once the invoice is created in QuickBooks. And I think I've gotten them all. What happens when I upgrade QuickBooks? Because we do through the QuickBooks API, provided you're going to a supported version, which would be Pro, Desktop, Enterprise, no changes needed on your side, except that you just have to authorize Logicbroker through the Sync Manager, which essentially calls out to our cloud and does the full end-to-end integration with Nexternal. We are working on QuickBooks Online, so QBO is slated. We're in beta right now, so we are looking for beta customers if anyone is interested and has QuickBooks Online with full release by the end of Q3. Will I need to install anything on my server or QuickBooks computer? Nope, nothing needs to be installed there. Everything happens through that Sync Manager, through our cloud. Great part about Nexternal is entirely cloud-based, just like Logicbroker. And I think that's it.
Yeah. Well, thank you, George.
You're welcome.
All right, so we've got all the questions today, and I just wanted to thank everyone for joining me. I hope you found our discussion to be both informative and productive. To express our thanks for attending, Logicbroker is offering you a complimentary personalized demo and an ROI analysis based on your specific business requirements. And additionally, you can have 30 days of free service. just let your sales rep know that you are a webinar attendee to redeem this special offer. If you're looking for more information regarding our QuickBooks Connector, please reach out to us via email and visit our website at www.logicbroker.com. Also, don't forget to follow us on Twitter @LogicBroker and on Facebook to get updates on new webinars and blogs. Thanks again for attending, and enjoy the rest of your day. Take care, guys.